Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel. So, today we are going to talk about the neurodivergence in Indonesia, deep research, solutions, and systemic roadmap using my AGES module. And then this is the illustrative policy report, visual neurodivergence inclusion as linked health, education, family, and workplace agenda. Okay, executive summary. Indonesia is a nation of 278 million people, faces a largely invisible crisis, neurodivergent encompassing autism, spectrum disorder, ADHD, dyslexia, dyscalculia, and related cognitive profiles affects estimated 10 to 20% of any population. Applied to Indonesia, this implies between 28 and 56 million people living with some form of neurodivergent profile. Okay, yet Indonesia's policy apparatus, its education system, healthcare, referral chains, workplace law, and social safety net remains built around neurotypical assumption, rendering the vast majority of neurodivergent Indonesia invisible to the state and unsupported by public system. The binding constraint is not the existence of neurodivergence, but the near total failure of diagnostic infrastructure outside handful of urban tertiary hospitals. Indonesia has approximately 800 psychiatrists for 278 million people, 0.3 per 100,000, compared to the WHO recommendation minimum of 10 per 100,000. Approximately half of these are concentrated in Jakarta. Puskesmas network recorded only 5,500 child developmental disorder case in 2020 to 2021, well below 1% of the estimated neurodivergent children. The detection approaching almost zero. Okay. This central argument is neurodivergence is not a welfare problem, it is human capital problem. Neurodivergent Indonesian currently excluded from formal education, formal employment, and healthcare represent a vast untapped productivity reservoir. Countries that have invested in neurodivergent inclusion, like Singapore, Australia, and the UK, have demonstrated measurable gains in employment rates and GDP contribution. Indonesia cannot afford the cost of continued exclusion. So, core architectural recommendation: Indonesia must not replicate the UK National Health Services diagnosed gate that model where access to education support, employment accommodation, and social benefits depends on obtaining a clinical psychiatric diagnosis. I don't know how in this I can get the 800 psychiatrists, and then there's a visibility gap, right? There is 28 to 56 million estimated neurodivergent, but and then the autistic one is nearly 750,000 to 1.1 million estimated autistic children under 18, but the recorded one only 5,500 plus. Visual roadmap. Okay, this is the framework. The telemetrization. Washington group short set cannot detect neurodivergence, and then yeah, this is the limitation. Epidemiological evidence base. ASD, autism spectrum disorder. Officials estimate by the Kemenkes projects 2.4 million Indonesians have ISD, with approximately 500 new cases formally reported each year. Estimated projection, not census driven. WHO benchmark applied to Indonesia, and then 1 in 100 children with ISD yields a working estimate of 750,000 people with ASD. And then this is the ASD, this is the ADHD data, this is the dyslexia data, this calculated data, and then diagnostic desert. Okay. I don't know how to get this data. And then the economic cost of exclusion. The absence of Indonesia-specific neurodivergence economic data. This report applies the Marlina et al. The only Indonesia-specific disability cost study produced in collaboration with Indonesia's Ministry of Finance. This is a benchmark. USA, ADHD adults annual economic burden is 0.6. ASD 3.6. China 0.3%. Indonesia annual estimate. This is the estimation. Education. Inclusive education is mandated, but support is thin. There are 40,000 schools implementing inclusive systems. Only have 5,000. Only 5,000 have a shadow teacher on staff. 4,000 trained shadow teachers nationally. 0.3% teachers have received any disability training. There's a ratio of 1 to 29 trained shadow teacher to student ratio. There is an SLB system, sekolah luar biasa, and then also mandate versus reality. There's a mandate by Permendiknas number 70 year 2009. Every district or city must designate at least one inclusive school at each level. Schools cannot reject students with disabilities on ground of disability. Government must provide guru pendidikan khusus or special education teachers to support inclusive schools. PP number 13 year 2020 mandates reasonable accommodation across all education levels, requires establishment of disability service unit. Implementation reality. There's a gap between mandate and delivery is a near total outside Java's urban centers. That's the thing. 40,000 classified as implementing inclusive system, but only 5,000, almost 6,000 of these have the shadow teacher. We have like shadow teacher crisis. Guru pendamping or shadow teachers is the primary support mechanism for the neurodivergent. Only 4,600 trained shadow teachers nationally, serving 135,000 students. This is the 1 to 29. One teacher versus 29 children, 29 students. There's an international education comparators. Singapore have a light educator, and then the Philippines, Vietnam. This is the systemic gap in healthcare. I don't know. This is the total psychiatrist BPJS coverage gap. So in BPJS, there is a ABA therapy, but not covered for this kind of code. Intensive speech therapy, this one only one or two sessions per episode. This is the cost. Occupational therapy, neurodevelopmental, neuropsychological assessment, not covered. Referral pathway bottlenecks. So we need the referral, right? From Posyandu to Puskesmas, Vaskes 1, RSUD, and then RSCM or RSJ, provinsi. Referral pathway bottleneck, early stage gap, primary stage care gap, secondary gap, tertiary gap. So there will be like many. So for example, many time was spent for the waiting for each step. There's a bottleneck. And then the employment and economic inclusion. You know, 18% with disabilities are employed in 2023. It drops to 13.5% for women by ILO, International Labour Organization. 91% employed person with disabilities work in informal sector. Just imagine, the informal sectors is the one who is not within the Ministry of Employment, Ministry of Work, and maybe it is basically a blue collar job. Only 6% of the person with disabilities are formal employees. That's a real gap. We have like Undang-Undang Number 8 tahun 2016 about the employment quota. So, Article number 53, government mandates institution and SOEs must employ at least 2% people, 2% person with disabilities. Private sector, at least 1%. Reality? There is no law enforcement against those who do not meet the quota. Sanction exists in writing but not applied in practice. 2020 Omnibus Law has further weakened protection. Neurodivergence classification problem. There's a Undang-Undang Number 8 2016 categorizes disability as physic, intellectual, mental, and sensoric. And then autism, ADHD, and dyslexia are described into mental or intellectual categories. There is no standalone legal gap of neurodivergence in Indonesia. The business case of neurodiversity. There is a finding from JP Morgan Chase. Neurodivergence employee 90 to 140% more productive in certain role with 92% accuracy rate versus neurotypical baseline. 94% retention rate versus 70% industry average. Neuro-inclusive teams outperform on innovations and problem solving. Neurodiverse team up to 30% more productive by Harvard Business School Business Review. You know, when you are employing a neurodivergence, neurotypical employees' morale also increase because they see how the neurodivergents thrive at work, and then their morale will be increased. This is a high value actually. Yeah, this is the benchmark. I don't know why. There's a real gap. There's also Yeah. Okay. This is the roadmap. Maybe we are needing the feasibility and screening. We also need the education and health capacity, employment inclusion, and data and specialist network, and governance and accountability. You know what, guys? Okay, this is the feasibility. I am part of the communities. I am part of the neurodivergence. I have ODHD. I have, if you read my blog, my post, my blog, there's a thing about the being the neurodivergence. It's like you are broken, but when you check to the all of the doctors from your body is fine. All of the matrices say your body is fine, but you still feel you are sick. And the thing is, the problem is your brain. And then, yeah, I also, my gift is to be fired, right? And to be kicked from the WhatsApp group because, you know, sometimes if you have a gift and sometimes if you are an innovator, people get jealous, right? I got kicked from every group that I attend. I've been called spammers. I've been called scammers. I don't know, right? I also my gift is to be fired, although I'm doing a really good job. I referred so many people. I also have some kind of innovation, but people tends to be envy to you, and people tends to protect their place. If I am still being kept, maybe other people will be disturbed because of the envy. Other peoples will be disturbed because maybe I am kind of person who talks a lot and maybe disturbing them. Maybe I'm becoming a disturb because I don't know why. See, I get fired from AWS, although I've referred many people and I also have a lot of contributions. And even though it's not my job, I was fired from Liven. They didn't want to use the term fired. The probation didn't continue. But there's nothing at that term on the undang-undang Permenaker. It's only about PHK. So I was fired from Liven. I was fired from the zoo. All of that because of envy. Just imagine. Maybe I was wrong, but the thing is it okay if maybe your sin is some kind of trivial and some kind of miscommunication? They didn't want to clarify. They just fired at the place. This kind of workplace is really, it's really didn't have any good in them. Both Amazon and Zoo and Amazon and Life and or Nomni, even Nomni want to sue me. It, look, I am the one who's being terminated. And I am the one who's being bullied. I am the one who have so many things that yeah, that I lost. But they sue me. Nominee sue me. Corporate defamation. Yeah, I don't know how is that can happen. Also, that's for nominee. Amazon in one of the forum wants to put me on a jail, but the lawyer is good enough and know that they can't be sued. And I can't be sued. So they just replied with the most formal way. Even though not getting replied again after 4 weeks maybe. Or 3 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. That's the thing, guys. We as those who have a gift, who have a talent, always be the one to suffer. So I just start my own company. You know, my company is the most welcome and the most, yeah. You see, just take a look. Just ask my intern, ask my communities about me. I'm doing everything almost for free. I give course for free. I give training for free. I look for the mentors. I don't have any. Yeah, I'm doing it for free right now because knowledge should be free from my side. Yeah, knowledge should be free. The one who can succeed is not the one who with knowledge. It's the one with the execution that can have a good execution. So yeah, that is me. My value is like if we are being if someone try to threaten us and someone need to wants to oppress us, we need to fight back. Even though it's a corporate, even though it's the police itself, I want the police to report the problem because yeah, I got a call from the police report and it is not within the law. You see, I was reported to the police by Linda. I am the one for the defamation. I don't defame her. I speak the truth. And the thing is, I was the one who's being fired. Bro. I was the one who's being fired. But she is playing victim. She has the mouth. But anak anjing. Kalau gila gila sendiri. That's what she said to me. So I was going to report her. And if my report didn't being published, I will give legal notice to that kind of place, that kind of police station. Imagine the broken report pass and the real report didn't pass. I will provide double legal notice after that. So thank you guys for this video.